What's going on, world? We back with another episode of School in the Game. It's your boy School, and today we coming with something special. We're gonna keep it positive vibes. I know we've been going through a lot. We just kind of want to keep it positive. Yeah, shout out to Beanz. This guy somewhere on the island right now, man.
I just wanted to show how better it was because, clearly I'm on vacation, but I had to tap in and, make sure I was here for that.
That's the silly backdrop.
He had to tap in from vacation.
I can't even
I can't.
What island you on, man?
Come on, I can't put myself out there like that.
Yo, I can't take the show. You gotta take the screen down, yo.
The guy is just in the center of his room, sir. Oh
Yeah,
my
today
god.
we gonna come with something different today. We're gonna keep it on. We're gonna talk about some music today, man. We all love music, and just try to keep some positive vibes, some different, man. Everything, I'll be on social media. It's depressing right now. So we're gonna talk about the mixtape era today, man. It was some good times. You don't really hear too many mixtapes today, but what y'all got on the mixtape era?
Into that?
Huh?
I say one thing before we get into that.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, man.
Can't hear you with the wind in the background.
We was froze for a second. Now, I just want everybody, when you get a chance, go check out my Facebook page, Views from the Struggle. We put up a PSA the other day about all the police brutality that's going on. Definitely check it out. Definitely share that. Shout out to Biz. He was a part of it.
Sure.
I know School real been busy and he wasn't able to be a part of it. I understand that. And shout out to Tills who didn't do it because he needed a haircut. So,
Yeah, I knew in the shade in there somewhere.
I think he needs
I
some
don't know if my
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
too.
is out on the beach, but I can't hear you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't hear him
Keep
either.
that-
I think he need better Wi-Fi too.
It's too much wind in the background.
What'd you say?
Yeah, hear me now.
Barely.
Nah, you still on the T-Pain flow.
Well, we can move on. It ain't nothing to say anyway. We all got priorities.
Clearly.
Back to you, School.
Yeah, make sure y'all check that out, man. I shared it. I'll share it again. Everybody can see it.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, let's get into this mixtape era, man. What y'all
Man.
got on it, man? First, what y'all think make a good mixtape?
Well, it's kind of complicated because people do mixtapes a lot of different ways. I will say I don't really listen to mixtapes anymore, but it was that whole era, that Wayne Fab era, where they were doing a lot of different things. For me, I like the type of mixtapes where people just grab whatever beat and just go. Don't need no hooks. Don't need none of that stuff. Just go and just get your bars off. That for me, and sometimes I think having a host or whatever, a DJ can help. I like a lot of what DJ Drama used to do. But for me, I just want people to grab a couple beats, some hot beats, industry beats, and just go in.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'm
I
not
could agree
gonna
with
lie. I miss mixtape era, man. When Fab still do it. He just dropped a mixtape, but
Really? I don't even be keeping up like that. I need to, I guess, get back into
he
it.
dropped on well, not just dropped one, but maybe like a month or two ago. I think he considered it a mixtape. I don't know. These days it's so hard. Like it's either mixtape, EP, like what, you know what I mean? You never know. But I miss that era where like people just used to. I felt like it was more fun. You know what I mean? Like they used to have more fun doing it, and even listening to it, have more fun.
It seemed carefree.
Mhm. Yeah, like especially like Wayne. Wayne used to just go crazy on the mixtapes, man.
Like when I was
What happened?
Fact. It makes up this.
for me, the mixtape. For me, you gotta just you turn it on and you just let it play through. Like for me, like that's how I am about my albums too. I don't like to skip songs. So if I could put on a mixtape or album and just let it play through without skipping a song and it just flows pretty nice, that's the biggest thing for me. And then like Beanz was saying too, just getting on the beat with no hook, no chorus, just going in for for your whole 3-4 minute song or whatever, how long you want to go in, but just make it those best bars for that particular song and that particular beat, and then you just let it flow to the next one and just keep it moving. Like you said, you brought up Wayne, Fab, Wale was another one that came up. He was another one that kind of just the concept of it together and just let it flow straight through without skipping. That's the biggest thing for me.
That's what I was about to ask you. Does it matter if the tape has like a theme or a concept, or like? Cause I know you look at albums, you expect some type of consistency. You expect it to tell some type of story or something. So with a tape, do you expect that?
I mean, it don't hurt it. I don't look for it because I know it's a mixtape. It's not one of those that that they go through their machine to do. It's kind of like I was saying earlier. It's kind of just carefree, just throw on the beats and go at it. So like it helps if it does have that concept, but if it doesn't and it still flows straight through, then I'm cool with that.
What you tells Robot Man?
Nah, man, I think part of like having a theme with a mixtape does like kind of give it like that extra It's still bad. It still can't hear me.
Yeah, you might want to move
Nah.
You might gotta drill my guy on the beach. Or nah, he might not want you there.
He
gonna mess up his Wi-Fi.
You might have to do the phone hotspot.
He in a hot spot right now.
Let's see.
So while he's getting his stuff together, like what qualifies it like as a mixtape? Like, because it's always been discussion about what's a mixtape, what's not. Like, I know a mixtape you're not supposed to really make any money off of it, but is the difference between a mixtape and like an EP just the length of it? Because most of the time you put out an EP. Well, some people do put EPs out that are like albums, but other people put them out like just a combination of songs. So like, what's the main difference? You probably could explain it the best. So.
I feel like a mixtape is either. I feel like there's two types of mixtape. Mixtapes are either the ones where you're grabbing, the already beats that's already out and you're like freestyling, or you're remixing the songs or whatever, like you just having fun. And then I feel like the other type of mixtapes are songs that are original that just didn't make the album cut. You know what I mean? That maybe the label was like, nah, we're not gonna put these on the album, so you toss them all as a mixtape, even though sometimes you still got to get that approval from the label for your mixtapes. So for me, that's kind of how I look at mixtapes. And then some people put out mixtapes as put them out like on platforms to make money, and they still call them a mixtape, but it's like, is it a mixtape or is it an album? Like, you know what I mean? I think Trey Songz did that. He put out a mixtape, but it was still like an album, or it's like weird stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like it's never really like a true meaning to a mixtape.
So the mixtapes where it's more like real songs, not just people freestyling, like the producers that are on that, like they're not gonna make any additional money once it comes out because they're not getting paid for, the artists aren't even getting paid for the album. So do producers, like if the artist comes and says, I'm working on a mixtape, I want you to produce something for me, are they less likely to do that because they know they're not getting that like residual income off of it, or it's kind of whatever?
I mean, I feel like it depends on the situation, because you got to think about it. So some of these original mixtape songs do end up getting radio play, end up getting performed at shows, and do end up in like TV commercials or whatever the case is. So essentially, you might get residuals from that, royalties from that. If everything was done correctly as far as register and everything. And I mean, sometimes you may charge depending on who you are, you may charge for the beat still. You know what I mean? Or you might just be like, all right, I'm gonna take this credit. You know what I mean? And use that as recognition to do records to get paid for. So.
No, I mean, I would assume that you're still getting paid for the beat, but I mean, like, if it's on an album, you're gonna be getting like probably royalties and things like that once it starts making money commercially. That's what I was saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, some mixtape songs end up making money commercially. So.
Right. Okay. Back Tills?
I hope so. Is it better now?
It's hard to tell. It sounds slightly better. So what were you saying about what makes a good mixtape?
I was saying like having the themes to mixtape kind of like has to mixtape and kind of just being like bar for bar. No, still nothing.
You can hear like
it's still bad.
They're good.
Guess no, maybe. So. Is it like the connection or you just hear me like real low?
Huh?
Oh.
All right. So yeah, while he's still getting his stuff together, if we want to get into like our favorite mixtapes, I don't know if everybody got like, it don't even have to be like a written down list, but at least some ideas of some of the things or the tapes that you like the most and what made them. I don't know if you want to start, Biz.
I actually took it upon myself to write a list because I think
that's always good to be prepared.
Oh, absolutely. Like my boy tells, he got to work on his mic. He not prepared, so But yeah, going off what I was saying, like I like my mixtapes to play straight through without no skips, and to the point where I could just recite songs and recite verses and bars off the top of my head at ease. So like, I got a top 10 list. So like, starting at 10, I had Finally Famous 3 by Big Sean. I think that was his last, or maybe one first or second to last mixtape that actually projected him out to be what he is now. Actually got him on the mainstream, out in the mainstream. Number 9.
Wait, hold on. What do you think of Big Sean like as a rapper? Like, because he was the type of rapper that had to kind of like grow on me over time. When he first came out, like I didn't think he could really rap like that, but over time,
it was definitely the same for me. I think before this one, I think he had Finally Famous 2. He had Finally Famous the original one. I think he had maybe 3 or 4 before that, just trying to push him out and trying to get out there. Detroit too, and
got that on my list.
Yeah, but like he definitely had to grow on me. Like he wasn't the go-to per se when I first started getting into the mixtapes, especially when you got up against like Fab and Wayne and Drake and all these other heavy hitters. And he's kind of like that third tier guy, but he definitely, what did it for me for Big Sean was his actual albums that actually got him closer to the top of my list as far as artists and stuff. So that was 10. Number 9 was The Warm Up by J. Cole. That was another one for me that actually like projected me to get me started to listen to him more. And then that what was the other one? What was the other one? I can't think of it right now. But those two combined, I think, projected him out into the mainstream. Then Friday Night Lights, and then he had to deal with he was under Jay-Z and stuff, so that helped get him out there. Number 8, I got the Drought 3 by Lil Wayne. That one was a little more rugged than No Ceilings, but it was more like Southern kind of vibe to it, back to his like New Orleans roots for me. But it once again it played straight through. That was kind of dope for me. Number 7 is Anticipation 2 by Trey Songz. To go back, it was one of those kind of mixtape kind of albums you wasn't really sure. To me, that was underrated mixtape. I think as far as Trey Songz, I feel like he was definitely underrated as far as his little catalog of mixtapes that he had. He had Anticipation 2, 3. He had Let Me Hold That. 2. Swagger Like Song was another one. I think he had one more that he did a combined with Drake or something like that, or Chris Brown, one of them. But that was Kids slept. I think Kids slept on Trey Songz. Trey Songz has some bangers on them mixtapes.
I think too because he's like an R&B mixtape, so it's kind of like you really don't think about Trey Songz mixtapes like that.
All right, I got what you're saying. I heard you. But that's kind of where with it. Like you don't expect the R&B artist like Chris Brown without his mixtape, but I like Trey Songz better than his. Number 6, I had So Far Gone by Drake. I had that over Comeback Season. Number 5 was Dream Chasers 2 by Meek Mill. I think that was the best one out of his Dream Chasers trilogy, whatever the case may be. Number 4, I had Nostalgia Ultra by Frank Ocean. I thought when that came out, that hit the streets, and every time I turned to Facebook, Twitter at the time was lit when the mixtape was real heavy. I think Instagram just started coming out at that point, but every time you turned around, you heard something off that mixtape. And then Frank Ocean, he took that and truly like ran with it, like literally, and made a name for itself. My third one, I had a tie between Soul Tape and Funeral Service by Fab. I couldn't decide which one. Those both were similar projects to me. Number 2, I had No Sailings by Lil Wayne. What you say?
Is there more than one soul tape or just one?
He had 3 soul tapes.
Oh,
but I picked the first one.
oh, the first one.
Yeah, he had soul tape the first one, and then he had 2 and 3. The third one was kind of weak. The second one was all right, but I think the first one was definitely the better one. That was another one that hit Twitter and social media and everything that people started going crazy from what I remember. Number 2, I had No Ceilings for Lil Wayne. That was that, and my number 1. That and my number 1 was that iconic, like what I was like talk about as far as mixtapes, what I prefer. Like you don't skip through. Like you play from 1 to the end, skits and everything. Like everything just flows straight through. And then number 1 for me was More About Nothing by Wale. I think that Wale came on and that put him on the map for real. Like people still playing that mixtape to this day, like faithfully. Like I'm still playing it in the whip. Like it's crazy. Like, that More About Nothing was sick by Wale.
I was waiting for you. I was like, yo, he got More About Nothing.
Nah, More About Nothing. I remember being in college and doing work in the library. That's all it was. It was More About Nothing. From 8 o'clock classes all the way straight through to time to go back from work, internship, warm up, like that was probably hands down my favorite all time.
Going back to what we were talking about before with mixtapes and EPs and albums and all that stuff, should So Far Gone really be considered a mixtape? Because a lot of people just say it's an album, and they even say that's his best album. So, like, how do we determine where to put that?
I say it's a mixtape.
I feel like
I think it's a mixtape.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of touched on what I said with mixtapes still being put out on like mainstream platforms and stuff. Because then he put that out like everywhere, right? Like you had to buy that actual mixtape, right? And that's kind of what.
I don't know. Like a little bit after he re-released it or something.
He re-released it that way, right? Okay. Yeah. I know. I don't know. I just. It's just one of them things where it's like it's borderline mixtape, borderline album for me. Kind of like what who else did something like that? Didn't Chance do that?
I think so.
With Coloring Book or Acid Rap?
It might have been Acid Rap.
Yeah, I think it was Acid Rap.
And same thing, kind of like how Trey Songz did with Anticipation.
Yeah, like a lot of people like because I think he has Anticipation as an album, I think, but Anticipation 2 and 3 were both mixtapes. But I think a lot of people
Yeah.
confuse. Like I would prefer the mixtape, I guess, version of Anticipation than the actual album. But as far as So Far Gone, I would classify it as a mixtape.
Yeah.
Because they got thrown in with a lot of like it was comeback season, and then at the same time Wayne was throwing his project. Like everybody was throwing mixtapes in, so that's why I felt like it was that. Because I consider his first album was that was his first album. I don't think So Far Gone actually made it to that for me.
And just to comment on some of the other albums, well, mixtapes that you talked about, like Nostalgia Ultra, to me that like came out of nowhere and just blew up. I remember.
Yeah, nobody literally like came out of nowhere.
Actually, your wife that just listened to it one day, and I listened, I'm like, "Yo, this is fire!" I don't even know
Yeah,
who
like
it is.
nobody knew.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he was singing hooks on Jay-Z songs and what they, but in a weird way, like to go back what we were just talking about, like that could have been considered an album for some. You know what I mean? Like,
and I know some of the stuff he couldn't even perform because of the samples and stuff. He didn't get cleared,
right.
So he didn't have to do the same like behind the scenes work as he would have had it done with an album. I know American Wedding, which is a dope song. I know he couldn't perform that because he sampled it.
Yeah, that sample.
California. That was
that record was crazy.
Fact.
Right, like that alone, like that took the mixtape hair to me, like literally, like I remember like you say, like my wife, she into music and she loved listening to new people and different stuff and all of that. And I remember getting in the car, I was like, what the hell is this? And like growing up, like I wasn't into like the whole singing stuff, but then that kind of turned me towards like listening to actual Trey Songz mixtapes, and that got me down that road. So that's kind of where that Trey Songz for me came into play. Because without that Frank Ocean, I wouldn't have. I probably threw definitely a lot more hip hop mixtapes on my list, but that Frank Ocean alone made me pivot towards the R&B realm, which he actually did. I think he did his thing. I think it's very underrated.
For sure. It's interesting like how certain things come about. I was watching a YouTube video like on his story, and I didn't know that he was already like in the industry before that. He was writing for people, so on and so forth. Of course, he was part of what's the Tyler's thing? Odd Future or whatever. He's part of that group. And then I guess he got signed to, I don't know if it was initially Jeff Jam or somebody, but basically he got signed and they basically shelved him. Like they wasn't gonna drop his album. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this tape out. I'm gonna do it on my own. And then it blew up. And then after that, the label was like, oh yeah, we gotta push it. And that's when his next album came out, Channel Orange or whatever.
Yeah.
Good too.
Yeah, it definitely got some box, but it ain't Nostalgia Ultra though.
It's not the same. Yeah, but it's just like interesting how people's stories play out. Like he had to do that on his own because he like that was his only choice. He didn't even want to go that road. He wanted to push an album like a regular album, but he couldn't because of the label situation. I'm sure a lot of artists end up in that type of thing. Like a lot of artists get shelved for whatever reason, and they're like, all right, I got to put music out, so I'm gonna just put this tape out, and then stuff eventually blows up.
Right.
And also Cole, I think Cole to me had like one of the purest come ups, like just the way he used the mixtapes and just showed off his talent and was able to parlay that into his deal with Jay-Z. I think he said in the song like he used to bring his tapes to try to get him played for Jay, and Jay wouldn't play him, and then like 3 years ago he said in the song like now I'm signing Jay. Like he really used that.
He really worked for it.
Right. So and he always had the skill. Just
need to make it run also something like that too.
Who?
What did you say?
Not tape kind of got on with Ross.
Meek, yeah.
Oh man,
That's true.
that was that big That was that Dream Chasers wave.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he might have
them
had like
Dream Chaser waves was
on
crazy.
Mixtape runs.
Yeah, nah, I ain't
I
catch
forgot
that one.
what song it was that Meek had that kind of caught on that Ross ended up popping on the remix of, and that's kind of like what got him going with the mixtapes.
Wasn't that House Party?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I heard the house. You said that something that had Ross on it.
Nah, it wasn't a House Party. It was something else.
House Party remix had Fab. I remember.
Yeah, hold on.
That was on the Dream Chaser.
Why you pulling that up? What about school? What's your list?
Let's see who I got. I ain't got no specific order. But I got Wale, the mixtape about nothing. Kush and OJ was Khalifa.
I left that off.
Yeah,
I left
you
that off. I left that
out,
off.
man.
That was number 11. That was number 11.
I got Kendrick Lamar, Overly Dedicated.
I think I ever heard that. Check that out.
Yeah, he got some dope stuff before he like blew up. Of course, Section 8. I don't know if he considers Section 80 as an album. I think it was a mixtape.
A lot of people were saying that it was, so that's part of the confusing thing about how
I think it was, but I think when it started, I think when it started to blow up, I think that's when he put it out as like on a mainstream platform. Because it's on iTunes, like I listen to it all the time. Like that's literally like one of my favorites. Of course, Lil Wayne got Dedication 3, Drought 3. Nipsey Hussle, Marathon.
Shout out to Nip.
Yeah, shout out to Nip.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. I got Meek Mill up there, Dream Chasers 1 and 2. Big Sean, Detroit, and then Finally Famous. What was it? I think it was 3. Yeah, the last one he had put out. Chance the Rapper. Jadakiss.
So let me ask you something else about Sean. I was watching another YouTube clip, and they were going through all the artists that was on the Double XL freshman cover, whatever year Big Sean was. I know Cole was in there. Nipsey was in there, I believe. What did we just say? We just said Kush and OJ.
Wiz.
They all was in there. It was a great class, but he was saying that some people were like, would Big Sean have blown up if he didn't have that monster and good music behind him? Because he might not have necessarily been initially putting out as good of music as everybody else. I don't know what y'all think about that. How big of an influence Kanye and good music behind him was in his career?
The machine and the label definitely, and Kanye, that's what backing it alone in the name of itself. Like that definitely helps. Like I said, like anything that can help get your name out on the mainstream and get your music out there, it helps. Especially if you got it back in like Kanye at the time.
Yeah,
you know that was fresh off. Wasn't that fresh off his or right before My Beautiful Dark and Twisted Fantasy?
I think so.
Yeah, so like that wave alone, and then he had some features. That's did he have features? No, he had it was the Good Music album that they put out. Like he caught that wave and took off. Like to me, anything that helps, like I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, like I feel like you can't be mad at it. Like you can't be mad that he had a good team. Like that's like it could have been anybody. It could have been anybody's team. It could have been any artist. Like you know what I mean. And they blew up. They blew up. Like you got to take it for what it is. You know what I mean. He had a good team. Of course, he better have a little blow up with Kanye as his, as good music. Because if he didn't, then it literally would have been like, nah, like how you just like fall off and you got a good team behind you, unless they was like holding him back.
Like, I think more so like if he took the role like Gig Cole, I think he would blew up as big, kind of like
Yeah, we
You
can't
know,
hear you, bro.
rock
Still
eight,
can't understand what you're saying.
like Jay-Z, I go out there was like, all right, you on your own, make your music.
We gotta get you get the teleprompter for you, bro.
Closed caption.
Closed caption.
Listen for the rest of the
Are you
time,
recording in the same spot you was recording last week? 'Cause
I'm
I didn't know just that many problems.
Yeah, that spot trash, bro.
You might need to plug up directly to the.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot.
Nah, you
Need me to
was
send you
tight.
a Ethernet cord, bro.
So,
Yeah, but
maybe
sodas,
we'll translate.
It sucks like I never used the internet before now.
You sound like you never used the internet before. But I want to just skip over what you said, but I don't know what you said, so I kind of got to. I think it wasn't that people were mad that he had a good team. I just know someone else that was on that list that kind of fell off. I think he was quoted saying something like, well, if I would have had a backing like him, I would have never fell off. So it's partly like, I don't know if it was completely his skill that got him there. He just ended up in a good situation, which helped him. And I didn't have, the same type of support. So I think that was more the point. But I definitely understand. Of course, and it is kind of more pressure when you're with somebody like Kanye because the expectation level is much higher.
And you got to come with your best at all times. Like Big Sean can rap his asshole. Like I said, he got the girl on me, but he could rap his asshole. I think he's definitely up there in the top 5 now, or my top 5 now. Like, I fuck with Big Sean heavy.
Who's your top 5? Off the top of your head.
Right now, off the top, you got Drake, J. Cole.
Top 5.
Big Sean, Kendrick, and shit. That's the 4. I mean, that's my. If I had to throw a 5 in.
You better throw one of the Lils in there for the Tills.
Little baby. Shit. I can say Drake again. That's it. I can't think of it.
Nah, you can't say Drake twice.
Well, damn, this shit. That's 4. But is that
be honest.
like right? Like, is it my fault? Is that it's just so damn watered down right now? It's just so. Literally everybody has a song or something that start with Lil or got Baby, like something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is definitely watered down right now. Let me go back in my list, yo. Let's see. I got top 5.
That top 5, Sean in your top 5 is pretty sick.
Nah, I fucked with Big Sean heavy, yo. Top 5. I forgot about my guy because he ain't come out with nothing in a while. But his overall catalog, I like everything my guy put out. But number 1 is Drake, 2 Kanye, 3 Cole, 4 Big Sean, 5 Kendrick.
Well, wait, you said his catalog. We talking about right now? Or we talking about overall?
Overall.
Oh, gotcha. That makes it a little different.
You said who you got again?
1 Drake, 2 Kanye, 3 Cole, 4 Big Sean, and 5 Kendrick.
That's in order.
Yeah, that's my order.
You're taking Sean over Kendrick.
I am. Me personally, I am.
That's very sick.
That's a sick list,
That's very sick, man.
I am.
On the list. And the positioning on the list is very sick.
I mean, I initially thought it was like a right now list. That's why I was like, I didn't Sean on the list in top 5 right now. That makes sense. We're talking about like everybody who's out now with their whole catalog. That's tough to put Sean in for me. But that's just me.
I don't know. I like Sean stuff better.
It's all perfect. I understand that.
It's a personal preference.
I'm not the fan either, to be honest. So I get it.
What happened? What you say?
Talking to Tills or me?
You.
Oh no, I was saying I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan either. So I mean, to a certain extent, I get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like this shit bop. Like I listen to it, but I would pull. I just like Sean better. I don't know what I was to explain it, but like I'll take his album better.
I don't know if we want to attempt to get Till's list, but let's see if you could not go out. So you want to let us know who's on your list, your mixtape list.
Honestly, I can't even
Hey,
list or top.
it's like you good until we start recording. When we start recording, it's like
Nah,
so it's not me. Is what you're saying.
nah,
no, it is you for sure.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely you.
it's definitely you. So can you type your list in the chat so we can at least see it if it's not going to come through clear, and then maybe we could at least see what you're putting in.
Thumbs up, appreciate it.
My list as far as 5, I think everything that's in my list was already said, but I will say it again. In no particular order. So Far Gone, Drought 3, More About Nothing, Nostalgia Ultra, and then probably Soul Tape. Yeah, I think those are a lot of people's tops, along with the stuff School said. What was it about Kush and OJ that you like, School?
I don't know. For me, that was just the tape that really got me. That got me listening to Wiz more. You know what I mean? Like I think that was the one that, because of course I heard him. I think the first track I heard from Wiz was what was that joint? It was an old joint. Say Yeah, and then that was like real commercial pop. You know what I mean? And I feel like he definitely steered away from that and started to get more like the mixtape was really like, all right, this is my sound. Like this is what I'm really about to do. Like I don't know who was behind him when he did that record, or if it was just to get him that clout, and that attention at that time, and then he went out and did what he did. But that project right there is just really what got me more listening to Wiz. It was a vibe.
So what are your thoughts on him overall as an artist? It's kind of like people love him or they just not into him at all.
I mean, he's not like in my top 10 or anything or whatever, but
he's an outcast.
He makes that good chill like vibe music, that smokers music. It's fun records. It's fun music. You know what I mean?
That might be why I never got into him that much, because everybody says it's kind of like music that you smoke to. So, and I don't really smoke, so maybe that's why I just can't get with him like that. But I will say he do have a couple of joints that's gonna make sure that he's set for life.
Yeah.
Whether it be Black and Yellow or whether it be what's that joint, that tribute song?
With
on the Fast and Furious joint.
That's gonna get played for the rest of his life, bro.
Royalties are gonna be ridiculous.
For the rest of his life, for the rest of our life, like that track ain't going nowhere. You play that song.
Yeah, I will say he work on records that he work on smart records.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like even he did a record for the movie Sonic that he didn't promote it or nothing, but it's like doing stuff like that. That's how you get your bag. You know what I mean? It's smart. So he makes smart moves. Yeah.
Get stuff out there that's gonna play and continue to play just for no reason, pretty much. Like nobody thought of that, but he did. So he can be straight.
I'm gonna type in that list, Tills. I still don't see nothing. Okay, so in the meantime, what mixtape artists do you think had the best runs? In fact, don't make a list, just the number one. So this way, everybody might have somebody different. What the best run?
Best run overall. We talking His whole they whole mixtape catalog, everything included.
It's kind of hard to figure out exactly how.
Yeah, it's
Probably
one
necessarily
person.
their
None of us
catalog,
dropped.
but I mean, like, I would say a run would be more like this person was killing it from this point to this point, like nonstop. Like maybe what they put out before that wasn't the best or after that, but this period, that run right, like in between here, they had the best run.
Hey.
I'm gonna have to say Wayne. I think Wayne had one of the craziest mixtape runs, and that helped his career like a whole lot. Like, of course he huh?
I would agree.
Yeah, of course, you know they already had bangers and all that shit, but his mixtape, I feel like his mixtape run is really what like catapulted him. You know what I mean?
Hey,
so wait, just while we on Wayne, Wayne is really interesting to me. Like, to me, without that run, like his career wouldn't be that good, to be honest. Like the Cash Money years was good because it was Cash Money and they had hit songs, but he couldn't really rap. Like, he wasn't rapping very well for real. And then after the mixtape run and after the Carter, what's the one that had Dr. Carter and Mr. Carter and all that?
That was the Carter 3.
Carter 3.
Yeah.
So, and I think after that, like,
you ain't messed with the Carter 2?
No, I'm saying the Carter 2 was before Carter 3.
Yeah, but I'm saying
after the Carter 3. So before that mixtape run, he wasn't that good to me. And then after the Carter 3,
all right, I'm following.
Nothing after that to me was very good. So I mean, I feel like if it wasn't for that period of his career, like he wouldn't have much to speak for. But that's just me.
So that sounds like that's from what?
Charger.
Was it 07?
Shoot, it's not even my Charger.
07, 08 to like I don't know, like 3-4 year stretch.
I want to say
between mixtapes and the Carter 3.
Yeah, I don't think it was more than 5 years, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with the convo about mixtapes, but just as an artist and how even to this day, a lot of people, like, if you put a top 5 together, a lot of people will say Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't really know how you put him in your top 5 when his career, to me, the good part of his career was that
the peak,
that window of those mixtapes and the Carter. Like, I don't know.
I kind of followed you. Like those mixtapes kind of carried him into the Carter 3, and then that was like the Carter 3 was probably his peak. And then everything after that kind of just fell by the wayside because I don't think anything compared. Because then he started doing the rock star stuff and the skateboarding stuff, and then which he did have some.
I rock with some of them joints.
I was gonna say he definitely had some bops.
He had a lot of dope collab records too.
Yeah,
but
like that peak, that Carter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was doing a lot of the remixes and all that. That was a summer long period too, where everybody had a remix to everybody, and it was like 5-6 artists. So he was on everybody's remix. That too, but I think the Carter 3 was definitely the peak of his career, and then everything else kind of just like right after that Carter 3, it was jumping on everybody's song remixes, and then after that, it just kind of tapered off, and but he definitely had some bops.
Yeah. I gotta grab my charger real quick. Sorry.
Trying to think.
Choppy.
What is that?
I said I still sound choppy.
You sounded clear right there.
Nah, put my top 10 mixtapes.
Nope.
Crazy.
So now you started talking, bro.
All right.
They don't want you to win.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Sorry, folks. Had to go back
Nah,
to
you got khakis on too?
khakis. Nah.
Oh, I thought you had khakis. I'm like, nah, you taking it too far, yo.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah,
your
what I missed.
island glitching over there, man.
You know, it happens sometimes. It was storms, you know.
They was daylight saving time over there?
Yeah, they do it like double time here, so it'd be
So
crazy.
it just stay daylight 24/7.
That guy said they do it double time.
Anywho, what I missed?
Nothing. Tails was trying to tell his list, but then he started T-painting again. So,
So let's see. He has So Far Gone, More About Nothing, Dream Chaser, Section 80, House of Balloons. That's The Weekend, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's what I thought. Friday Night Lights, Drought 3, No Ceilings, Beam Me Up, Scotty, Warm Up. That's an interesting one. Beam Me Up, Scotty. I wish I could get into more
That's a Nicki drawing.
Nicki, right?
And see why you like that. But that was probably most of our first glimpse into Nicki, I would think. And it was definitely a vibe, definitely a movement. What's that song they used to play in the club all the time?
I was on
I
the
was
plane
two.
with
It was two.
Dwayne.
Yeah, they played that joint and they played the I Get Crazy joint, right?
No.
Yeah.
It was I Get Crazy.
Yeah.
I Get Crazy.
Yeah, I forgot about
Nicki should
that.
go. I can't hold. Can't lie. Nicki should go.
Then the Young Money album after that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. How old were we when that came out? We had to be like, what?
Yeah, chill out, man. Chill out.
Me?
Anyway, what you were saying about his list?
That was college. That was college years. That was maybe sophomore year, maybe.
Yeah, that's like 20, maybe 21, something like that. But as far as female mixtapes, I can't even think of another female mixtape that I could even put in that category with her. She definitely
Nobody.
I don't know.
Nah,
She's
chill.
kind of on a level of herself at that point.
R-bar, damn. R-bar days.
That was one of the
Shout
shows for y'all who are unfamiliar.
Shout out to R-Bar, man.
R-bar.
I did one night and done, man. The one night I went, I started shooting. Out of here, bro.
I had a wild night at R-bar one night, man.
As soon as that Remy Ma came on, you know it was time to go.
Whatever. Get it pop.
Dude thought that was the cue to literally get it popping. No. Metaphorically. I just have a good time. That's what we mean.
Oh, nah, kids is gonna have a good time already. It got crazy, but nah, I don't think Nicki is the only one that come to mind as far as female mixtapes.
Yeah.
And that definitely shot her up through the charts. Like I can't think of nobody else.
She also came in at a very good time. She definitely could rap. But she came in at a good time where it was definitely like a opening for that because there wasn't really any female rappers that I could think of. I don't know if y'all remember anybody at that time who was really doing it at that point.
Remy.
When did she go to jail though? How long after Nicki came out did she go to jail?
It was some years later after that, I think. But I think Remy was the only one that I could think of during that time.
Yeah, so it definitely was a lane for her. But going back, school started saying that Wayne had the best run to him. You look like you didn't necessarily agree, like you had somebody else in mind.
I mean, the only one that I could, I don't know. Wayne definitely had it. If I had to throw a name out there, it would be Fab, because that's how he got on pretty much. Like that was his, that was his avenue. He was putting out all the mixtapes and stuff, and then the albums came, which I think his mixtapes, I would put his mixtapes above his album catalog. But Wayne definitely had the best run as far as like artists. But if I had to throw a name out there, it would definitely be Fab. Just for something that he kind of started that movement and everybody jumped on. But between the Soul Tape and the funeral service, like he had that window of time where it was nothing but Fab. Like everybody was bumping Fab, at least I remember. And then he had another one too. I think it was Coco Loso that he kind of threw in, kind of underrated too.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't crazy about No Ceilings, but it was good. But I think the Soul Tapes and There Is No Competitions, both of those were like just under the Drought for me. So I definitely put Fab as a relatively close second.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Till said Nicki came out with Beat Me Up while Remy was locked up. Okay, I thought it made sense that it was even a bigger opening for her to literally being.
For real, I thought it was after that.
Really. Somebody can fact check him. I don't know, but I don't see what. I'm assuming he looked it up.
Yeah, so it is.
Who do you think had the best run, Wayne? I mean Wayne. Tills? I can't even tell. I forget. You have any idea who you think had the best run?
See if your mic work.
That's interesting. Ooh. The Dream Chasers were good.
I feel
that's tough. I definitely think.
I get my mic again or no?
Try it. It sounds like it's coming a little better.
Nah, I was playing like when it had like no.
You're ruining our podcast show.
Back to the chat.
Yeah.
Hold on, what the fuck?
Yo, this episode was funny, man. But
I mean, Meek definitely had a run. Meek had his run. I don't think it was
Meek's progression. I like the fact that Meek has now changed into someone that's actually talking about something with substance instead of, just the bust down and all that stuff he was talking about. He's not screaming as much either. Somebody must have told him, like, you don't have to
scream. Probably damage his vocal cord. That's Nah, it's funny, man.
That's sick. Nah, because it was a flamer.
I mean, I don't know if he was mixtape. I know he had a lot of freestyles, but
yeah, I don't know if he had like full tapes. But if we had a conversation about the best freestylers, I definitely think he would be.
I just heard. I was listening to his 11-minute joint the other night.
The Hot 97 joint.
Yeah, it got crazy.
Classic, bro.
That's crazy. Like how we go like whole 10-minute freestyle, like word for word.
Yo, it was sick. Like I haven't listened to it maybe since like I want to say maybe college, and it just it was word vomit. Yo,
kids used to just sit and listen to that shit, bro. Like they won't do that now.
Nah,
half of these niggas don't even know how to freestyle or write a freestyle if you want to say it was written.
Nah, that 11 minutes.
Niggas gotta. They be like, let me mumble my melody first and then get to
that shit was sick.
Yeah, what's a good Smack DVD freestyle? Good times, good era.
That was a whole, you had all the mixtapes, you had the freestyles, Hot 97 freestyles going on. You had Twitter and the frenzy, like all at the same time, like that old.
Remember 50 and all them, man, the G-Unit freestyle, they used to go
G-Unit freestyles, the Cam joints, Dipset joints.
Rap City.
Right.
Rap City got crazy.
The basement?
Yeah.
Nah, that was a sick time, yo. Sick time. And then like, I'm about to say that issue into that era, the whole rap battles and You had your Murder Mooks. You had your T-Rex. You know what I mean?
Party
City
Artie, rest in
Girl,
peace. My
Party
guy.
Artie.
The original old school Loaded Lux.
My guy.
Had Jay Mills versus Mook. That was a good one.
My beloved. My beloved.
Well, it was some good battles. I miss those days. I don't even really be keeping up the battles anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal out there.
Too commercial.
Yeah.
But going back to the list we was doing before, what's your off the top of your head, what's your top 5 rappers right now, school?
I'm gonna revamp mine too.
Top 5. Top 5. Shit.
Should have looked at this.
Kendrick, Cole, damn, man. Kendrick Cole.
This all time?
That's,
Or this
all
right
time
now?
or right now?
Well, it can't be all time because
I got confused.
That's hard.
Yeah, I got confused. So I'm gonna do mine over.
Oh, so what we doing all time?
It was never all time. I don't even know how we got to all time.
I feel like you asked me all the time, so I got to do mine
top
over.
5 right now is what the question was.
Top 5 right now. All right, bet.
Nah,
That's more clarity. Nah, more clarity. Nah, I needed more clarity. I got to do that over.
Kids don't be listening.
Let me get in my pad real quick.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like that's always a tough question for me to answer, man.
Who's hot out there, like on the West Coast now, that we might not be hearing as much out over here?
I don't know.
Anybody? No.
I feel like I'd be lost in the rap world, man.
It's a hard transition. We kind of turn into the
so
old heads that have trouble with the new music, except Tills, because he loved it. But the rest of us, it could be a struggle at times.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on my top 5.
That's top 5 right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your list sounded cool until you threw Kanye in there. Everybody else
at that point, see, I was confused. So I gotta jump it up. So I gotta do it again. You know what I'm saying? So we talking right now, we talking all time.
No, we was always talking right now.
All right, so right now I don't got 5. I only got Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. You know what I mean? Right now.
So how did Big Sean get out of it? I mean, he doesn't have to put out music like literally right now, but he's
and Big Sean, so I got top 4. Feel me?
Yeah, like don't let us change your views on Big Sean.
Nah. He in my top 4 right now.
Top 4,
I don't have a 5 right now.
As far as people that you expect to continue to put out music that might not have put out anything in the past few months or whatever, you still got like your Chances, your Rosses, your Pushers. You still got, it's still people that's doing it. But I don't know if any of them crack your list.
Nah, not my top 4. I can't think of nobody right now.
Maybe we'll have to make it a post on Instagram. We each post our list of our top 5 right now. See what the people think.
Yeah.
By that time, I have a 5th. Don't worry, people. I got y'all.
You're gonna try to change the rules up again anyway, so.
Nah, not at all. Nah, not me. I play fair, bro.
Change his top 5 in an hour.
Nah, cause I try to confuse me. They try to set me up.
Anywho. Back to you, school.
Man. This was a dope episode, man. It didn't feel heavy, you know what I mean, with everything else going on in the world. So, hopefully y'all enjoy this as much as we enjoy talking about it and typing about it. No shade, bro. No, we gonna fix that by next episode, man. But Yeah, this was dope, man. And we're gonna post our top fives on our Instagram page. And let's hear y'all top five too. I mean, as far as rapper mixtapes, your rappers, and then just I guess in general, top five artists.
See, that's 3 different lists, bro. Like I keep.
Nah, not you, bro. We talking about the listeners. We talking about the listeners, man.
I think he was making a point to say that we're gonna actually look at those 3 different lists, not all at once.
See, I gotta bring out my notepad again. That's crazy.
This guy, man. All right, man. We out of here, man. We're gonna catch y'all next week.
Catch y'all next week. My man O get home safe off the vacay, man. You know.
Wheels up in 30.
Yeah, they get home safe, man.
All right.
Catch y'all later.
All right,
Later.